Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be taking some thrifted items in the new IOD summer release and creating beautiful pieces of home decor. Let's go ahead and get started on the projects. IOD has four beautiful transfers this release. They have the Botanist, which is a little bit shabby chic French country. And they have Maze Roses, which is a beautiful sepia tone transfer with some typography in there. And then they have Elysium, which is a gorgeous floral. It looks so good with color backgrounds. I'll definitely be using this one soon on a video. And then if you love the ephemeral melange, you're going to love the seed catalog. You have all of these different little seed packages and images to use. This is actually Maze Flowers right here. And this is the one that I'm going to be using in today's video. This little P transfer is the one that I decided to use today, and I'm going to add it to this enamel pan. So you want to remove your backer from your transfer, put your transfer down, and all of your transfers come with a transfer tool. Rub your transfer tool over the image and it'll transfer on to your piece, which today is this enamel pan. I chose this pan because it had two holes right here. So I'm feeling like we could turn it into a hanging piece, and I'm putting my transfer at the top because I'm thinking down here we could use that as a shelf. How cute is this going to look in a kitchen? This is a slick surface, so my transfer is going to come off very easy. I like to do a combination of pulling on the plastic and rubbing. I feel like that is the quickest way to get your transfer to release. You just want to do it very slowly when you get to the top to make sure all of the pieces are transferring. Wow, that came out so good on this pan. IOD has four new stamps this release. This is the Adornment stamps. I used it on my last video. If you missed it, I'll have it linked in the description below. This is the Rural Scenes. I think this is the one I'm going to use on a project today. This is Reverie. It's all these beautiful angels and filigree and all kind of different little pieces, and you get two sheets with this stamp, and also you get two sheets with the Rural Scenes as well. And then you have the Pennsylvania Folk, which is just so fun and so cute. Check out this super chunky kind of short rolling pin. These are awesome, and I actually have these available on my website. This is a new color that I just got in, Fusion Chocolate. I'm thinking this paint color will make a great wash, so I'm dipping my paintbrush in some water. And then the top with a little bit of, that has a little bit of paint in it. You're going to paint the entire piece, and then you're going to take a dry paper towel and just wipe it back. And if you want it darker, you can add another layer. If you want it to be very light, then from the beginning, add just a tiny bit of paint and a whole lot of water. When you use a new stamp for the first time, you want to take some light grit sandpaper and just lightly rub your stamp with it, and this will help the ink adhere to your stamp. What I love about this stamp is you have all these different elements that you can use on their own or build your own scene, or you can just use the stamp as is all together, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take my white ink and I'm going to ink up my stamp. As suspected, my rolling pin dried to a beautiful dark aged brown. Now, I did find when I painted it on, it did have some purple undertones. However, as you can see, it dries to a beautiful chocolate brown. Now I'm going to take my rolling pin. I have my stamp inked up, and I'm just going to take the rolling pin and roll over it. This is such an easy way to upcycle a rolling pin. I've seen several creators do it, like Jamie Ray Vintage and Sonic Gardens Bloom, and I'm obsessed. Look, I love the white with the dark brown. This looks beautiful. Look at all the little people. I love it. So if you love this stamp and you love this rolling pin, I do have them available on my website. Like I said, you can use all of the little smaller pieces from the roll scene, so I want to do that. I'm actually going to be stamping on tissue paper. I picked this little cabin scene right here. How cute. And then this is a resin casting of the frame's IOD mold. Oh, I am now selling resin on the website if y'all are interested. And I painted it in the chocolate color, and I did not water it down, so you can see exactly what it looks like. And instead of stamping this piece, I stamped it on tissue paper because I'm going to decoupage it to the little frame in the middle. I'm using Fusion's decoupage transfer gel, and I'm just putting it on the white part in the center. And then I'm going to take my tissue paper and just put it where I want it to be. Now I'm going to press it down and I'm going to let it dry. I always do it oversized because that is just a lot easier. So let your decoupage medium dry before moving on to the next step, because if it's still wet, your paper may tear. Once it's dry, you're going to take an X-Acto knife and just go along the edges and cut your tissue paper. Then you're going to take your decoupage gel and just go over the top again just to seal everything in. This is such a fun, easy project. This would be great to do with your kids. You could turn it into little magnets. You could put a hanger on the back and put it on a decorative hook. You can make Christmas ornaments. I did that around Christmas time. Just so many fun things. So definitely go check out the frames mold, the resin, the chocolate paint, and the new IOD stamps. In this release, IOD has 3 different molds. They have the Dainty Flourishes, which I used in my last video. They have the Juliet that I actually used to make this piece. How beautiful. I did this on a Facebook Live. And the one I'm going to be using in today's video is the Primitive. Y'all, we have some more birds and we have some rabbits and all these beautiful little greenery pieces and flowers. The first thing you want to do is just dust your mold with cornstarch. I'm going to be using the 2 rabbits, and then I think I'm going to use these little greenery pieces. So I'm just taking my IOD air dry clay. You push it into your mold, and then all of the molds have this micro rim. So if you just kind of rub your finger along, it pushes off all of the excess clay. Before I pull the clay out, I like to kind of wiggle it around, make sure it's all loose. And then you're going to grab one in and just kind of gently pull it out. Look at that. We have a little jumping rabbit. I have this small terracotta pot that already has a nice age to it. So my plan is just to simply glue these bunnies on using my Gorilla Glue. I don't want to paint it or anything. I love the color of the air dry clay, and I think it pairs really nicely with the terracotta pot. I used some painter's tape to keep the bunnies in place while it dried, and I decided not to use the flowers because I really liked how it looked with just the bunnies. This is IOD's new paint inlays. They are exactly the same pattern. They just come in different color options. So you have this beautiful muted beige color and you have this beautiful antique blue color. The inlays are perfect to add to furniture pieces. You can see how they use them in these images, but y'all know I do smalls. And I love this urn, and I had one in my stash. So we're going to make over this urn. It is a cement type material, but it looks like somebody has spray painted it, and I feel like we can make it look a lot better. Look how beautiful the beige one looks on these colored pieces of furniture, and also it's beautiful on natural wood. I'm only going to be using one of these strips. You get 4 pages with this paint inlay, and if you have been wanting to try a paint inlay, this is a great one to start with because it's less expensive than the other paint inlays, so you're not putting a huge investment in trying something for the first time. And y'all, the paint inlays are really easy, so I think once you try them, you're really going to like this one. Also, the paint inlays can be used up to 3 times, so you really do get a lot of bang for your buck. So don't throw them away after you use them because you can use them over and over and over again. With the paint inlays, you want to use a chalk base paint. I'm going to be using Dixie Belle in the color Buttercream. I think this creamy butter yellow is going to pair beautifully with the blue paint inlay. So I'm just going to get one quick coat on here and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, I got my base layer of paint on. I was not concerned with getting full coverage. Now I'm just going to go in and add a little bit of paint wherever I want to put my paint inlays. So I'm also working with a very rough, unsmooth surface here. So I'm not going to get a perfect paint inlay. And that's actually the look that I'm going for. So once you put your paint on, you're going to put your paint inlay down, make sure the grids are facing up and the paint is facing down. And then you're going to take a spritzer bottle, this is a Fusion one, and you're going to spritz your paint inlay and you're just going to make sure it is on your piece. So I'm going to leave that there and I'm going to move on to another little area. I'm going to do the same thing, apply paint, put the paint inlay down, and then spritz it. And what's going to happen is this is actually paint on here. So it's going to be embedded into my chalk paint. And since it's such a rough, uneven surface, it's going to give me this beautiful old age look. And that is the difference between paint inlays and say a transfer, is this is actually paint. And we are putting it and embedding it into the paint that you are putting down. So you can then distress it if you want to, or do whatever you would normally do with paint. You could leave it as is. I find it usually has a naturally distressed look to it. And y'all know I love that look. So that's why I love paint inlays. So I'm just going to keep putting them around the whole urn. And then you want to let your paint inlays dry before moving on to the next step. So I'm going to put them all down and then I'm going to let them dry. The paper on the inlays are all dry. So what I'm going to do next is going to take my spritzer bottle again and I'm going to spritz them and re-wet them. And then you're going to remove the paper. Oh my gosh, y'all. That looks so good. Now, like I said, this is a rough, uneven surface. So they are very, very distressed. But that is the look I'm going for. If you do a flatter surface, you're going to get a different look. But y'all know I like to try something new. If it's not, if you feel it kind of sticking, you need to add more water. It should be very easy to pull up. Now, like I told y'all earlier, these are reusable. So I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them a second time around this urn. Look at all the chippiness I'm getting. I am obsessed. Love this. I've used the inlays for a second time. So I'm going to do the same process. I put them on. I'm going to wet them and then I'm going to pull them off. Now this layer is going to be more distressed because I'm using it the second time. So every time you use them, it's going to be lighter and a more distressed look. That's why I kind of spaced them out the first time and then put the second layer in between them. I'm probably not going to use them a third time because I feel like I have enough pieces on this urn. But look how beautiful this is coming out. I mean, what other paint treatment could you do and get this same effect? If you have not tried the paint inlays, you are definitely missing out on some fun. It looks great as is, and you could definitely stop here, but I want to bring back some of that cement texture. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking some 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm just kind of lightly rubbing it along the whole piece. And this is just going to add another layer to this and give it more of an old age distressed look that we are going for. All right, guys, that is the end of today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And as always, leave a comment below. Let me know not only what was your favorite project, but also what is your favorite of the new IOD release. And of course, all of the projects and the products are available on my website, juliesdesignsandsigns.com, and I will have a link to all of that in the description below. Also, while you're on the website, go check out the Fusion tab, because there's 7 brand new Fusion colors that are out, and they are currently 10% off. They're only going to be 10% off until June 30th. So y'all go check that out. Also, if you have not joined the Fusion Color of the Month Club, you are definitely missing out. So I will leave a link to that as well. Now, as you can tell, I'm in a parking lot because it's just easier to film not at my house. We're about to get into that. Let's have a good old-fashioned car chit chat. I also have some stuff in the back because I just went to an estate sale. If you're not following me on the Julie Thrifts YouTube channel, definitely go follow me. Follow all of my thrifting adventures over there. All right, you may have noticed that I have not been posting very much on this channel, the DIY channel. I'm not going anywhere. Do not worry about that. I'm not going anywhere. However, it is summertime. All the kids are off of school. All the kids are home. I have preteens and teenagers. If you have kids that age, you know you are a 24-hour taxi service. They're in sports. They have social lives. So our summer has just been extremely busy, and this year more than any other year, it just has been really difficult for me to film YouTube videos. So I'm just giving myself a little bit of grace, and I'm asking y'all to give me a little bit of grace as well, as I just kind of enjoy the summer with my kids and not stress too much about creating YouTube videos. So that is where I've been, just busy, just plain busy. And once school starts and we get back into that routine and I have that dedicated time where they're at school to work, I have no doubt I'm gonna be back into making YouTube videos every single week for y'all. But right now, like I said, life is just busy and I just want to enjoy some time with my kids. So hope y'all understand that, and make sure you are subscribed to my channel and you have the notification bell hit. That way when I do upload, you'll be notified. When I do upload, I try to do it Friday at 4:30, which I don't know when this video is coming out because it's currently Friday it's 10:50 my time, and I haven't even finished editing this video. So I'm gonna head home, go hide in the closet, and try to get this video edited for y'all. So I hope y'all had a great day. Like I said, I'll have a link to everything that I talked about in the description. Oh wait, I forgot to tell y'all one more thing. If you want more of me, y'all go follow me over on Facebook, because I am very active over there. I just feel like Facebook kind of fits into my current lifestyle a little bit better. So I do DIY, I post a lot over there, and I post videos over there as well. So y'all go follow me over on Facebook. I hope y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video.